Hey Life Groups, welcome to week 6. So excited you're with us again. Hey, just wanted to point out something to you that it's coming up, not this coming week, but the week after, is we have our Life Group Work Night. It's during the night of the SB project when the youth are coming in to freshen up and paint benches and paint the children's area and all those sorts of things. So we designated a special night for Life Groups. It's Wednesday, March 29th. 5:30 to 8 p.m. and we would love to have as many of your life groups as possible participate in that. It's just really important for life groups to work together, to stick together, to develop those lasting relationships, to do something together. And what fun it would be just to come down to church for a couple hours and help out. Of course, your life groups aren't meeting that week of spring break, so all the more opportunity to come during your regular meeting times and just work at the church. So hope you take the opportunity to do that. Be a leader and just form your group up and say, hey, we're going to go down to the church 5:30 to 8 p.m. on that Wednesday, March 29th, 5:30 to 8 p.m. Just had a couple great applications from today's study. Of course, it's called the fourth man in the fire, and that, of course, is Jesus Christ. That's from Daniel 3:19 through 29. And I don't even know if I need to tell you how many great applications that you have from this study. How about the one of what it means to worship and to sing even in the fire? And Pastor David gave the great example of Paul and Silas in the book of Acts doing the same thing. When have you had a worship experience in the trial that really helped you power through a certain trial or a certain circumstance in your life? Then we have just a great application of how to think about this miracle to the outside world. When unbelievers come to us and say, how can we really believe that these men survived the fiery furnace? How can we really believe that Noah had the animals on the ark, and that's how those people survived in order to repopulate the world? Well, we need to know how to talk about those things. So this is a great example to kind of bounce ideas off one another within your life groups of how to talk about the miraculous. If we believe Genesis 1:1 that in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth, then we can believe all things regarding miracles within the Bible. And so it's good to talk about how we present those things to unbelievers. One thing I thought for you people that love just the Bible review to go deeper is to think about some places before Jesus came incarnate to the world that he appears within the Old Testament. Just like we see the fourth man in the fire here in the fiery furnace, there's some other examples within the Old Testament in which we see the pre-incarnate manifestation of Jesus, if you will, appearing to help strengthen and edify those people that needed it. I'm kind of being vague here because I want you to be able to search the scriptures yourself to find those examples, or test your life groups and see if they know where a couple of those are within the Old Testament. If you need more help on that, just send me an email, but I'd love to see you search the scriptures and discuss that within your life groups as well. We have Jesus as the ultimate example of temptation, responsibility, pressure, rejection, suffering, and death. And we see him coming alongside these three men in the terms of their circumstance as well. The question is, how has Jesus come to you to help you in the fiery furnace that you're currently in within your life? Jesus knew all those things. He faced all the temptations and trials that we do within our lives, and so we know that Jesus comes and helps us. Maybe think within your life group some great testimonies of how Jesus has really stood with you in the fire, and ask your groups about that as well. Last great application was the difference between knowing God and knowing about God. Some people might think that that's kind of a slight difference, but we as believers know that that's the whole deal. We can know a lot about God, but still not yet know God, like Nebuchadnezzar. What's some differences between those that maybe know about God yet don't know God? It's great to think about those things and make sure that our devotion is really about knowing God, not just knowing about God. I thought that was a great example as well. Finally, just thinking about this, how has God used the trials within your life to display the world his glory and his power? Just like these men, it wasn't about them, it was the power of God that delivered them, and Nebuchadnezzar knew this. So just think about that within your groups. Your trials just aren't for your own edification, but they're also to show to the world the glory of the Lord as you stand within the fiery trials of your own life. So great examples within the text of that, and great applications that you can look at within your studies today. or this week, and I hope you have just a great life group. Again, remember to introduce that work group project, and I think you'll find that that'll really help your group stick together in even a greater way. We'll see you next week.